If you are fascinating with history, you are on right place. History Bolt is a YouTube channel that produces videos about anything and everything historical. Before we dive into today's video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have already done so. Also tap on the bell icon to turn on notification for our channel. This way you will be notified when we upload a video like this one. Without further ado, and let's dive into the video. Pope Benedict XVI was born Joseph Ratzinger on April 16, 1927 in Markgillem in Bavaria, Germany, the youngest of 3 children. His father was a policeman and his mother a hotel cook. Before she married, his family moved frequently among villages in rural Bavaria. Deeply Roman Catholic region in Germany, as the Nazis strengthened their stranglehold on Germany in the 1930s as a defense against the Nazi regime, Ratzinger threw himself into the Roman Catholic Church, a citadel of truth and righteousness against the realm of atheism and deceit. He wrote, Ratzinger entered preparatory seminary in 1939, but he could not avoid the realities of the day. Ratzinger was briefly a member of the Hitler Youth in his early teens after membership became mandatory. In 1943, Ratzinger and a fellow seminarians were drafted into the Anti-Aircraft Corps. He has said his unit was attacked by Allied forces that year, but he did not take part in that battle because a finger infection had kept him from learning to shoot. After about a year in the anti-aircraft unit, Ratzinger was drafted into the irregular military. He told Time magazine in 1993 that while stationed near Hungary, he saw Hungarian Jews being sent to death camps. Ratzinger was sent home and then called up again before deserting in late April 1945. He was captured by American soldiers and held as a prisoner of war for several months. Ratzinger returned to the seminary at the University of Munich in the fall of 1945 and was ordained a priest in 1951. 2 years later, he earned his doctorate at the University of Munich. He earned his teaching license, he adds, in 1957 and became a professor of Freising College in 1958, teaching dogma and fundamental. Ratzinger became a professor at the University of Bonn in 1959. Later he moved to the University of Münster 1963 through 66 and took a chair in dogmatic theology at the University of Tübingen. Alienated by the student protests at Tübingen, he returned to Bavaria to the University of Regensburg at the Second Vatican Council 1962 through 65. Ratzinger served as a chief theological expert to Cardinal Joseph Frings of Cologne, Germany. He was viewed as a reformer during his time. In 1972, Ratzinger helped found the theological journal Communio, which became one of the most important journals of Catholic thoughts. In March 1977, he was named Archbishop of Munich and Freising, and 3 months later was named a cardinal by Pope Paul VI. In 1981, Pope John Paul II named Ratzinger prefect of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. In 1998, he became vice dean of the College of Cardinals and was elected dean in 2002. Ratzinger defended and reaffirmed Catholic doctrine, including teaching on topics such as birth control, homosexuality, and inter-religious dialogue. Ratzinger was elevated to the papacy on April 19, 2005 upon the death of Pope John Paul II and celebrated his papal inauguration mass 5 days later. Known for his rigid views on Catholicism, he saw a more inclusive image as pope. In 2008, Benedict made his first visit as pope to the United States, where he spoke out against clerical sexual abuse and delivered an address at the United Nations that same year to foster relations and understanding between religions. Benedict addressed the First Catholic-Muslim Forum, a 3-day conference of Catholic theologians and Islamic scholars in 2010. Allegations of sexual and physical abuse by parish priests and in parochial schools, particularly in Germany, Ireland, and the United States, run Benedict, in his role in the cases in Germany, in particular, under close media scrutiny. In February 2013, Benedict announced that he would resign at the end of that month, citing Asian health concerns. His final public address in St. Peter's Square drew a crowd of more than 50,000. On February 28, he formally resigned, Taking the title Pope Emeritus on 4 September 2020, Benedict became the longest-lived person to have held the office of Pope, and 93 years, 4 months, 16 days, surpassing Leo XIII, who died in 1903. Benedict is the last surviving individual to have been created by a cardinal by Pope Paul VI. On the 28th of December 2022, Pope Francis said at the end of his audience that Benedict was very sick and asked God to comfort him and support him in this testimony of love for the Church until the end. The same day, Director of the Holy See Press Office, Matteo Bruni, stated that in the last few hours there has been an aggravation of health due to advancing age, and that Benedict was under medical care. He also stated that after Francis' audience, the latter went to the Mater Ecclesiae monastery where Benedict was. Benedict died on the 31st of December 2022 at 9:34 am Central European Time at his residence, Mater Ecclesiae Monastery, in the Vatican. He was 95 years old. From the 2nd of January 2023, Benedict's body laid in state in St. Peter's Basilica. His funeral took place on the 5th of January 2023 in St. Peter's Square at 9:30 am and was celebrated by Pope Francis and Giovanni Battista Cardinal Re. Bishop Georg Gans Wein, his personal secretary since 2003, and Bishop Diego Ravelli, instructor of liturgical celebrations, also attended the funeral. This was the first time a pope attended a funeral for his predecessor. His funeral was attended by an estimated 50,000 people,